Hi, my name is Nadine, and for my final project, I'm going to be discussing the film The Battle Roar to Victory. So, here are the table of contents, so introduction, information, synopsis, and reflection. So, to give you an introduction of this film, it was created August 7th, 2019, and it is also named The Battle of Bongo Dong. The director for this film was Won Shin Yoon, and the main stars of this movie were Yo Han Jin, Ryu Jun Yul, and Jo Woo Jin. I would also like to spotlight the cinematography and the music that was added in this film. I feel like it definitely just grabs the audience's attention and it made it feel more realistic. So that goes to Kim Young Ho and then Jung Young Gu. And the running time for this film is 134 minutes, and this movie gained 34.8 million US dollars. So the director of this film, like I mentioned, is Won Shin Yoon. He was born October 23rd, 1969, and something interesting about him is he was actually a stuntman before he became a filmmaker. Some of his popular movies definitely demonstrated his skills and his capabilities to create a film that included a lot of thriller and action and also captivate his audience. So, his most famous film that won him the Best Director Award was The Battle Roar to Victory, and this was in 2020. So, the main cast is Yo Han Jin, he's on the left side, and he got his degree in theater and he plays Hwang Hae Chol, who is the swordsman. He's very skilled. In the middle, we have Ryu Jun Yul, and he got his film degree and he plays Yin Jan Ha, who is a soldier and a commander. And on the right, we have Jo Woo Jin, and he got his degree in film and drama, and he plays Byung Gu, who is the sniper. So, for the historical background, this movie represents the Battle of Fangguang. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And this took place June 6th, 1920. This battle lasted 4 days, but regardless, it was very brutal and very violent. And during this time, Korea was under a lot of Japanese imperialism. So the Japanese were moving in and they were violently taking apart many parts of the land. They were burning down villages and farms and just killing any civilians that got in their way. And because of this, the Korean Independence Army had formed. This group of people basically came together because they believed in fighting against the Japanese and taking back their freedom. So this also plays into nationalism and strong resilience. So the film shows, let's see if this will play. Okay. Sorry, it looks like the film is not playing, or the video clip that I included, but I will include it in the references. But to give you a brief summary of what happens in this film, it basically starts off with the main characters, or just the Koreans, working their way around a new time, a new era of Japanese rule. So a lot of these people are trying to escape. They're just moving further and further away of the Japanese that are coming in and storming in. However, the Japanese show their violence and show how brutal and cruel they are by, like I said, killing as many civilians as they can, stopping anyone that gets in their way, and trying to keep people hostage to get information out of them. So many of these Koreans turn around and say, this isn't right and we should join forces, we should come together, and that's how the militia forms. Many of these Koreans are farmers or simple men that don't really have that military experience, but are willing to put their lives on the line and willing to put their efforts forward. So these people are, they have somewhat of an advantage. They know parts of the area. They have that strong sense of bravery and faith in themselves, to really work through these tough times. And so the tensions are definitely high especially with the mountain terrain. It's not as open. I mean, there are parts of the film that display open fields and stuff like that, but overall, the Koreans go to the mountains, and that definitely gives them an advantage. They can plan out, their ideas, and they can come up with certain strategies to fight back. And so the Koreans are definitely outnumbered by the Japanese troops. The Japanese troops have so many weapons, they have a lot of strength, and they are military trained. But even with all these skills, the Koreans still manage to, bring their efforts together and come up with a strategic plan that overall gives them success. So here's a reflection of what I thought and my takeaways from this film. The Koreans definitely showed that they were willing to fight for their lives, even when Japan was coming in and taking apart everything that they had. The Battle of Fungkwang is a reminder of how intensely the people fought for freedom of their country, and it's just a very important historic event that we should acknowledge. I also witnessed the pain, the bravery, and the strength of so many individuals who, like I said, were willing to fight even when the odds were against them. This story really just shows how worthy the men and women were. It also signifies the importance of, not just seeing this as a film, but seeing this as something that we should always keep in mind and see how it affected the Korean people. Something else I would like to note is the general. He wasn't really showcased in the film, but he's still a very important person to talk about. So his name was Hong Bon-do, and he was the person that kept them all together, and he basically, kept the militia moving. And yeah, he overall brought them to victory. And I will keep a resource towards the end of this presentation. And here are the resources. And like I said, you can find the video that I included and also more information on the general and just some other important things that you could talk about. Okay, thank you so much for watching.